Hi guys, Palace to the Core here. My name is Stephen Dawes. Thank you for joining me as always. Right, so I'm going to be talking about the Crystal Palace versus Aston Villa FA Cup semi-final game. So if you haven't seen it or you haven't heard the result by any small chance, then do look away, go and check it out, go and see what went on, and then come back and I will tell you all about it. Now, as you can probably hear, my voice is very nearly gone. This is the next day after what was, I think, an amazing game of football. Absolutely stunning atmosphere. Thank you, by the way, to everyone who came up to me and said hello and shook my hands. Really, really made that day special for me to see all those people coming up to me and saying hello. So thank you to everyone who did that. Really do appreciate it. I hope you had as good a game as I did. Um, it was great, I have to say. I thought it would be a very tough game. Aston Villa are no pushovers, although we have done well against them this year. Knocked them out of the other cup, of course, and got 3 points off them in the league. So we've not had a bad record against them. But of course, a cup semi-final is always a different atmosphere. It's always a different setup, and a different thing to a Premier League game. But and I felt that we actually did really well. I thought that the whole game, I think we started a little bit slow, perhaps a little bit of anxiety, maybe a little bit of nerves, perhaps creeping in. So we were passing a lot at the back at the start, being a bit cagey, and we did have an early chance. Of course, we had Jean-Philippe Mateta, who was put through. He hustled the defender off the ball and took a shot, scored the goal, but it was deemed offside. Not offside, it was deemed a foul, I should say, which I don't really think it was a foul, but that was chalked off. And then at that point we continued to push forward and push forward, and of course we then had that wonderful goal from Eze, and Ismail Assar crossed it across to Eze, who swept it into the back of the net. Absolutely wonderful goal. No touches, just hit it straight into the back of the net. Fantastic goal, and it was an early goal that I think we needed to settle down. I think we did start to settle down a little bit after that, and started to play even more than we were. I mean, obviously, Aston Villa had a lot of possession because I think that's what we were expecting them to do. But I think that on our counters, we were very good at countering. And I think a few times it didn't work out for us, but I think most of the time it actually did really well. And we managed to go into the first half 1-0 up, which was absolutely fantastic. And it was good to see the team working so hard. Everyone was doing their part. Second half, and we had a penalty, which was Eze, who was bowled over as he went into the penalty area, and we got ourselves a penalty. JP stepped up to take it, and unfortunately he hit the post. So he was close to scoring the goal, but it unfortunately just ricocheted off the post and went out, which was a shame for him, because I think that that would really have set the cat amongst the pigeons, to be fair. But a little while later on, we did manage to get a second goal from Sarr again. It was a ball through, and he saw it opened up in front of him, and he took the shot past the keeper. Great little goal, great little finish. And at 2-0 up, my nerves were starting to settle a little bit, I have to say. They were on edge at times, but they were starting to settle at 2-0. And but I did feel as though Aston Villa still had a threat to them, and they did have a couple of chances. A couple of really good saves from Henderson managed to keep them out, and they had a few half chances. But I think in general terms, I think our defence were really good, really resolute, throwing themselves in front of the ball, crowding Aston Villa players out if they got into the box, and really working hard together. Even JP got a ball away with his header in our penalty area towards the end. So we were working hard as a team, and I think nullified for the most part the threat of Aston Villa. I think that they were limited to the chances they got, and some of them were only half chances. So I was really pleased that we were able to do that. But then of course we get to the end of the game, and they say another 7 minutes, which bewildered me a little bit. I know we had a couple of stops here and there, but it did bewilder me a little bit. But anyway, 7 minutes added on at the end, and my nerves were starting to go, because even though we were 2-0 up, I was thinking to myself, there's been games where teams have scored 2 goals in 2 minutes or something like that, and it's just my luck, or our luck, that that's going to happen. But then, blow me down, Sarr managed to get a second goal, which is absolutely wonderful. Any Nketiah bustled or hustled, whatever you want to call it, the Aston Villa player off the ball, passed it to Sarr, who managed to sweep a second one into the net. Absolutely wonderful goal. He really was having a purple patch in that game. He really was absolutely fantastic, to be fair. And at 3-0, of course, on the 94th minute, that's pretty much the whole thing wrapped up. And it was pretty raucous in my part of the stand, I have to say. There was a lot going on, people hugging and cheering and all kinds of things going on in there. And it really was a great game. I think we managed the game actually really, really well. And even though we weren't going at them for the whole 90 minutes, I think our counter-attacks were really good. And I felt that we were quite a threat on the counter-attacks for the most part. Obviously, we let them have a little bit of the ball in their own half and stuff like that. And I was a little bit concerned early on about the passing across the back, thinking we were a little bit a little bit unsure, but we certainly grew into the game as it went along. And of course, I've got to say, I can't really pick a man of the match. If I had to pick one, I know the man of the match went to the official man of the match went to Eze, but for me, it's probably going to be Sarr. Not only because of the two goals that he scored, but because of all of the runs he made, the pass to Eze for his goal. He worked incredibly hard, and I think I would personally give it to Ismaila Sarr. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. Who you think would be the man of the match for that game? But it really was an amazing atmosphere in Wembley. Absolutely fantastic. I've been to every Wembley game that Palace have been at since 1990. And I have to say, never ceases to amaze me the atmosphere that Palace managed to create in there. The display from the Hammersdale Fanatics was wonderful as well, and the whole thing was just fantastic. Really nice, camaraderie between everybody. Everyone was polite, even to the Aston Villa fans. They were polite, having a little bit of banter here and there, but for the most part, I think it was really good, the parts that I saw. So let me know if you managed to get to the game. Let me know what you thought of the game as well, and also let me know what you think you would take away from that game. What's your best memory of that game? But anyway, I also want to briefly touch on Kamada, because he started from the beginning as well, and I really do think he had another good game. Whether he's growing into the games now, growing into the team, whether he's he's getting his confidence up or not, I don't know. But in the Arsenal game and this game, I think he played actually really well. A couple of nice little passes, breaking up the play there with Adam Wharton in the middle. I thought he actually did very well. But let me know what you thought about him as well down in the comment section. And well, I'm going to show you a quick clip of the ground at the end, just to remind you of what happened there. Thank you very much for joining me. As always, please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.